Welcome to another exciting edition of
Midwest Reviews.
Today we're going to be taking a look at
Jurassic Park Trilogy.
And like a lot of people, we really think that the third one shouldn't be considered canon, but that's beside the point because we're going to focus on the first one first.
Yep. Started off as a book. Michael Crichton turned it into a movie in 1994. Now that first one, I mean, that was groundbreaking stuff that they did for movies. I mean, they had animatronics mixed with some CGI, and the animatronics were out of this world. I mean,
at the time, a full-size Tyrannosaurus Rex animatron.
I know. I mean, that was so crazy. It was like, what in the world? I'm like, that's so neat. I mean, yeah, this life-size looking T-Rex, and then
Steven Spielberg is groundbreaking because he laid the basis for what would frighten kids in their dreams for years to come.
Yeah. I gotta say, you know, the perfect cast. You know, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Richard Attenborough.
And Mr. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, Mr. Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, the perfect cast.
Well, you know, and honestly, it was a unique story for the time. And, I mean, it's one of the most classic of the 90s now.
And I don't think there's been a movie since then that has ever come close to being as good as that movie.
The sequel is really good. I actually personally like it better than the first one because, you know, Malcolm, he was kind of along for the ride in the first one, you know, but this one he's leading the charge, and the fact that he's working against Engine, which has been taken over by Hammond's nephew in this one, they're the bad guys. The fact that him and his team are taking them on, and you know, they're at the very end, they had to team up to survive, get off the island, do whatever they need to, don't go into the long grass. Yeah. But, you know, and they kept the king of the movies, the T-Rex, still the biggest, baddest of the movies. They kept him in the limelight as the prime dinosaur, the prime predator.
And I will say that what's something that they did with the second one that they also did with the first one was the Velociraptors. I mean, that sequence when they're walking through the tall grass and they're getting like picked off one by one. Oh my gosh, that was scary as crap when I first saw that. I was like, oh, wow.
Honestly, I think the end sequence in San Francisco, that probably was pushing it a little too far. I understand it was done for humor more than anything. I mean, I like the instance where they have to trick the T-Rex back onto the barge and trap it. That was cool at the very end. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the stuff, like the Chinese guys running away from the dinosaur, which is a reference to Godzilla.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of bad puns once they got to San Francisco.
We gotta move on to number 3, which, I mean, at the time, it was just a movie just to go see to pass the time. I mean, I did like it originally, but
as you grow older,
as I grow older and get smarter, I realized that it's not the best. It's not even a good Jurassic Park movie because, I mean, we've gone through 2 movies.
They tried the same recipe a third time, and at this point they've beaten the dead horse and they've run out of ideas. Now maybe they thought having Sam Neill in the lead role again would be a good deal, but even Sam Neill as an actor cannot save the plot if it's terrible.
No.
Now don't get me wrong, I like the actors. I like Sam Neill, I like the guy that played Billy, I like William H. Macy, Tay Leone, but there's some just stuff in this thing that, A, it's historically inaccurate because at the time they thought the Spinosaurus was the prime predator. Well, in recent years they found out that's not true. The T-Rex is still at the top prime. They said, oh, he's a scavenger. They've learned that's not true. They've learned he is the prime predator of his age, and he actually could have taken on a Spinosaurus. And it really kind of felt like the fight that they instituted in the third one was actually forced.
It did.
Because there were several points where the T-Rex almost had the Spinosaurus, but then it stopped for some reason.
Yeah.
A real T-Rex would not have stopped for the Spinosaurus to get an edge.
No.
And as we've just stated, they found out the Spinosaurus would actually have been able to be taken by T-Rex. The T-Rex had the Spinosaurus's neck at one point in its mouth. It would have clamped down, broke its neck, and feasted on it. Not let it go for some odd reason.
Yeah, so, I don't know why.
Historically, it's inaccurate, and there's also a really there's lots of stupid parts, but one of them is at the very end, where the raptor eggs are in the bag, and they're like sniffing Tay Leone's head, and he's like, "They think you stole the eggs. Give them
Yeah,
back."
like
the raptors wouldn't have just taken them. I know he had the vocal thing, but that's just stupid beyond all belief. So Sam Neill apparently speaks raptor now, enough to call them away. No, the raptors would have gotten the eggs, eaten the people. What about Billy stealing the eggs?
Yo, yeah, Billy stealing the eggs. I mean, really?
What's gonna happen when they hatch?
They said they're lethal in 2 weeks.
And I doubt you could sell live raptors in less than 2 weeks.
The hat? How in the world would he have been able to find Grant's hat? I mean,
he was nowhere near it.
He was nowhere near it.
Now, granted, he disappeared for a large chunk of the movie, but at the end, he's portrayed as nearly being dead. If you're nearly dead, you aren't going to bother dragging your friend's hat around. You're going to be focused on saving your own self, not, oh, hey, there's Grant's hat. I'm nearly dead. Let me drag this with my body. Okay, so Laura Dern and Sam Neill.
They haven't even got together. What the crap?
Okay, some say, oh, well, that makes sense. Consider Grant's position. But you're forgetting one thing. In the very first movie, he completely switches his position by the end of the film. By the scene with him holding Lex and Tim. It was symbolic of him actually finally embracing the idea of having kids, which sets it up. If he was okay with it, and she was okay with it, and
they don't even really explain.
Why did they not get together if they were both on the same page?
I don't know.
You can't just do that. That's why a lot of people hate it too.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, and then the worst part is they tease you. Because they show kids, they show the kids, they show Alan, they show Ellie, and you're like, oh, well, look, they had a family. No.
Yeah, her husband shows up, it's not Grant. You're thinking, oh, you're like, really?
Like, you're from the get-go, you're like, I hate this movie.
At the very beginning of the movie.
They were like, hey, this is cool, let's videotape some dinosaurs, and let's hope we don't get eaten.
From what I gather, the movie's taking place a week after that incident. Or maybe 2 weeks, and the dude's
corpse
like
is completely
decayed. It's like skeleton. There was no way.
Even if dinosaurs were on him, eating him up, he wouldn't have been a complete skeleton.
They would have been chunks.
Yeah, there would have been pieces missing. A human body does not decay in 4 weeks at most.
I mean, it was just so dumb.
So anyway, this has been our review for the Jurassic Park trilogy, and this is due to the up-and-coming
Jurassic World movie, which we'll be reviewing right after the movie comes out, so stay tuned for that.
And anyway, for more future reviews, just stay tuned to this channel, and we will see you guys next time.